All right, Anne here. So, if you've ever tried cold emails for your agency, consulting business, or even a coaching offer, you probably know that they've been quite shitty in the last couple of months. And I'm gonna break you exactly how we've handled this problem for our outbound agency because essentially what we do is we work with agencies, coaches, consultants making over 20K a month and build these systems for them. So I'm gonna show you exactly how we handle this problem and how you can potentially implement this for yourself if you are an action taker. Okay, because I'm gonna give you the numbers. I'm gonna give you what we have been doing before and what we're doing now. So let's get into it. Now, what I'm going to show you is the regular cold email model, and I'm going to show you the accelerated version. So the regular model was very simple. You were just doing completely cold outreach. There was no context. You just usually did a personalization with Zapier or Anytime, just create their website, scrape their LinkedIn profile, and create a personalized line based on that, and then include it in your main email, right? You were tracking open rates, you were tracking link click-through rates, you were tracking all of this nonsense that's not really getting you anywhere. And you were also sending the links within the first or the second follow-up, right? Or email, maybe even the initial email. And you were doing immediate CTAs, basically pitch slapping, right? And your script looked like this, right? So you had the intro right here. This was the intro, basically, just like micro report. You had your body copy, which was basically your pitch slap. There was literally nothing for the prospect. You were just pitching them straight out of the air, which is bullshit for most people. That's why you were getting shitty conversions. So you were just pitch slapping with maybe some personalization, but nothing crazy. And then you just had like a nice CTA at the bottom, right? Like this is how cold email used to look like, and this is how also we ran them. And it was profitable and good for the time when it was, but it's not like that anymore. It's 2026, it's May 2026. So I'm gonna show you the new model because the results of this one, if you try running this now, these are going to be your results. If you do it extremely well, it could be a little bit better. But if you do it this exact way, you're going to get about a 2% reply rate. If you're okay with it, maybe even less. You're going to get a 0.5% positive reply rate, and then you're going to get a 0.2% appointment booking rate. Like these are going to be the regular numbers for this model, and you're probably going to land in spam anyways, because you're sending links and tracking open rates, which is a no-go. And then the accelerated model is pretty crazy. This is what we're doing right now, and I'm gonna walk you through the exact thing. So it's warmed up through LinkedIn outreach. So basically, we initiate the prospect on LinkedIn, or we use email to prepare the prospect to get initiated on email on LinkedIn or any other social platform. Now for example, we just figured out how to do this on LinkedIn specifically. You can literally like you can do this on fucking cold ad, like on paid ads. You can do this anywhere, but we just found out it works best for LinkedIn. And then also the email, it has context, right? So it's there like the incentive is not just to directly pitch slap them, it's to like to build a partnership. And you would typically have in the LinkedIn profile personalization, so you would have a very specific thing from their LinkedIn that you can personalize that email based upon, and you're not going to be tracking any open rates. Nonsense is going to be out of the way. You're just going to be tracking replies, positive replies, and bookings. This is literally all we need, because if we're getting a good booking rate, we don't need how many people are opening the email. If the North Star, which is the key metric that we're going to be basing our system around, is within the KPI, we do not need the fucking click through rate. There is no need for that. The risk of getting into spam is too high for that. Of course, in an optimal world, we could also track that and it could give us some extra data. But most of our decisions, we're just going to be basing on the appointment booking rate and the positive reply rate. So I don't know why the hell you would be tracking open rates. So no links without engagement. If somebody doesn't reply to your message, you do not send them a link. Neither do you track an open rate. It's bullshit. No HTML codes. And this is all of this is a light approach, right? So it's fucking light approach. Very simple. Super simple. Because the results of this, and this is what we've been getting, about a 6% reply rate, 5% positive reply rate, and a 2% appointment booking rate. Plus the LinkedIn system, because the LinkedIn system, we're doing outreach on that, and that's where we're getting most of our meetings from. Cold email is not even a regular model anymore. We're just mainly running these LinkedIn engines for our clients, is the main thing. Because on LinkedIn we're getting about a 4 or 5%, even 6% appointment booking rate. We even had a 10% appointment booking rate about 2 months ago. So this is achievable. It's super achievable. And this is what you can do, because look at this. These are our metrics right now for what was it, like a 3-day campaign. It was absolutely crazy. We've sent out 743 messages. You see, we got about 6% response rate and a 6% positive reply rate. And from the metrics we've tracked, about 2.5% of those, of the initial leads booked in. That was more than 40, I think it was 15 appointments. You can see in a single day we booked 3 people just from email. And keep in mind, we're getting most of our meetings from LinkedIn. And this is what you need to start doing. You need to mix up the channels. People are tired of the regular cold email or cold anything that's completely cold. People are tired of that. I'm telling you this. If you don't have any personalization, if you're just pitch slapping them, people are tired of that. You need to have something that's in it for them. Now, typically, the way we structure this is we say that we have already recorded a Loom video explaining how they can solve this problem and how we would do that for them. It's very simple because they can see the value in this. And we typically just refer a client, like let's say, for example, we have helped Ivan scale by like multiple 5 figures, right? Like, and we can just say, this is how we did it for Ivan. This is what we implemented for him. This is how we scaled it up for him. Super simple. And this is the whole workflow. So we would typically, this is how it would look like. People that say that Apollo is shit for lead sourcing, I agree with them to an extent. But you need to keep in mind that Apollo is just a glorified sales navigator. So if you know how to do your searches in the correct way, you can still get some good leads on there. But keep in mind, most of them are going to be saturated. That's why you need a very specific process. And the way we use the way we do this is we have Apollo as our source, and then you can just scrape those leads with ample leads. And I think I have one of my earlier videos on this YouTube channel. I just talked specifically about this. But this is what we could do. The main thing that we do for our clients and for our own agency, we get meetings, is we just go to Sales Navigator, create a signal-based search where we can find somebody. Let's say they're hiring for a sales manager, and I'm running an offer for a sales consultancy. Right, I'm working with a sales consultancy. I'm running an offer for them, and they basically act as a sales manager. Their company is basically sales management. In that scenario, I could go on Sales Navigator, target people who have a signal of hiring a sales manager. Of course, their search is going to get much more, is going to get smaller, but the people that are going to be on that search are going to be so much more receptive to your message, to our message. And then we would just scrape the data with an agent. We use WizLeads, which is a SaaS tool. So it's let me just write it down. So it's Wiz Leads, like this. And then what we do is we have a decentralized workspace in AimFox, where what we do there is we use AimFox connected with Instantly to have an integration. Now, we don't use Instantly right now. We use ManyReach, a different platform. We used to run Instantly, but the same principle apply. We just connected with ManyReach, and then we have both systems in the same software. The inbox is decentralized, and you can manage everybody in that platform. Super simple. I could give you a walkthrough on how this works. I'm not going to do that because there's literally, I mean, it's literally self-explanatory. And I'm getting that if you're watching this video, you probably have a business, probably making some money already, and you understand the basics of this. And then what we would do on LinkedIn specifically is we would send them an email message and we would send them a connection request. And emails are sent specifically to the people who have an open profile, right? So people who have an option in their settings, open profile, that anybody can message them. And about 10 to 20% of business owners actually have that feature on LinkedIn. And then we also have something called the connector campaign, which is where we get the majority of our meetings. Essentially, what we do there is we optimize our account in a very specific way where we just look like the person we're reaching out to. And then what we do is we send them this ultra personalized selfie video with AI business plan on Loom. So we have a VA doing this, and they just personalize these videos with AI, send it to people where we are connected back, specifically on AimFox, which is a decentralized sender. And that's how we get meetings. We can book like 3% on that, easy. Right now we're booking 5. And then in addition, we can book 2% more with cold email. And the way we do, it's not really cold email, it's semi-cold. That's how I would restructure the word. And what we do is we have a permission-based follow-up, right? So this is a permission-based follow-up from the initial message right here. And this is what I would say. Hey, it's Anna here. Did you saw my message on LinkedIn? Basically, I recorded a short loom for you explaining how we've helped Ivan achieve, how we've helped Ivan get 30 qualified meetings in a single month. Just wanted to double check if I can send it over here. No worries if not. And then you would just, end this with a nice signature and a greeting. It's super simple. It is, and this is how you can get these numbers easily. Like I'm not, I don't have anything special here. It's just systems, right? Systems don't work for any person. They work as an entity. Systems are literally just inputs, processes, outputs, feedback, and environment. Sam Owens talks about this. If you know the guy, the co-founder of School. And then what we would do if the prospect ghosts us on this message, I would typically do, did you receive my email? Just a regular bump. And then I would do personalization. I wanted to keep it for here because I wanna expand on that. So what I mean by personalization, it's a very interesting thing. So we have an agent that can basically personalize based on their sales navigator data. So let's say we're targeting specifically companies that are hiring a sales manager. We would personalize it in a way where we're saying, I saw that you've been hiring a sales manager since 2024. And then that's what we would do, that's super simple. Just pointing out the problem. They can't find a good manager. It's us, we are here to help them out. And then we would do a LinkedIn bump. Because what we would do here is we would just say, by the way, I've also sent you this message on LinkedIn. This is my profile. And do not link your profile. Just put in your full name that they can search it manually. Because if you link your full profile, there's a risk you're going to get into spam. And then we would normally get about a 2% appointment booking rate on these. Super simple. This is just like a complementary system. LinkedIn is our main system. It literally is. It's super simple. And then I want to address one simple thing. It's super important because if you have like 10 mailboxes and you're sending it out to 100 new leads a day, right? So you're basically messaging 100 new people a day, you're probably going to end up in spam. God forbid you're messaging 1,000 people on that. What you need to do is you need to message about 30 new people on this account so that you're only sending 3 new cold emails every single day with 2 follow-ups. That makes about 9 cold emails per account combined with the follow-ups and 10 warm-up messages. So this is how you structure your sending. Now, realistically, when we run a campaign for our clients, we have 30 mailboxes, which equates to be about 90 cold emails to basically new prospects. And that's about, I think, 2,270 emails in total a day, right? This is how we do it. This is how we structure our systems. Now, if you don't want to be pitched, you know, get off this video. Anyway, I'm getting most of my traffic on this exact system that I'm showing you right now. Of course, also some IG, but the thing that I'm gonna say right now is gonna be pretty important because if you're struggling with this yourself, there's a high chance that it's gonna take you like 2, 3, 4, even it can even take you a year if you're lost in this. And I can help you out. Obviously, I'm gonna pitch you. So, if you're still here and you don't want to be pitched, just click off. But if you want to be pitched, let's hop on a call. I'm gonna include the link down below where you can book a call with me. I can, if of course, if you're an operator making more than 10K a month. So let's hop on a call. I'm gonna show you exactly how this can work for you, give you a game plan, give you a financial model, and let's run this off.